So at the end of class, we will ask one of the students here to lead the sharing of merits, right? So we can put the hand together, right? Say Namo Tassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Okay. Now we still on the kind of like introduction here, chatting. So you all can leave your video on. So later when I start to share the screen and to reduce the Wi-Fi here, so you all can turn off, then you can feel at ease, right? So because I also want you all to feel comfortable, because sometimes it's impossible for you to sit 1 hour, 2 hours. So you will feel your body have lots of pain problem, because you notice that as you get more aging, you understand the Dharma more yourself. All right, you can see the body cannot sit as much longer as you want. All right, so the purpose of opening the Abhidhamma class, I would say from my viewpoint first, is because I've been teaching Pali for, I think, 2 years. Some of you are my Pali student, and I think it's good for me to go back to Abhidhamma, because if not, I might forget. That's one thing, Abhidhamma is something that's full of facts and information, so I might forget. So that's the reason for myself why I want to teach Abhidhamma. And then the second reason why I want to teach is because it's good to share the knowledge, like especially to fulfill our perfection of wisdom. The more I share, I will become more better in Dhamma, more skillful. Okay, there's a two reasons here. And third way, if I feel that Abhidhamma can be understood by people, all the students, if we teach in a systematic way. Because I think some of you have the Abhidhamma book, especially the comprehensive manual of Abhidhamma. If you try to flip through the pages, you know how you get headache. That's why in Myanmar, they call it Abhidhamma is the sleeping book. The moment you hold the Abhidhamma book, you flip through the few pages, you get headache, and then you just go to sleep very easily. They call it sleeping pill. All right. And the Wisdom Maga, the one I teach Saturday, is called the handbook for meditator. The moment you get that book, you just feel that you want to run to the forest and practice meditation by yourself. So the two books have two different purposes. Okay, but not to make the Abhidhamma so scary with all the charts and numbers. So I was thinking that we should learn Abhidhamma in our life. Okay, focus more on how we can see Abhidhamma facts and numbers in our life rather than try to remember 89 chittas or 52 chetasika, 1 plus 1 equals to what? Of course, it equals to 1. But, in Abhidhamma, there are what? 12 plus 18 plus 30 equals to 54. All right. Yeah, you will go through the numbers later. There are many, many numbers, but nobody will learn the numbers. Actually, why they put all the numbers is actually to test you, are you skillful in the Abhidhamma? But if you are skillful, actually the numbers is just the numbers. Right? Okay. For example, just make an example. If you're good at fried rice, I think all of you know how to cook, right? So if you are good at fried the rice, you don't need to think, oh, I have to put this, put that, and put that, put that. Naturally, it's a process for you. You know how to cook it because you understand the taste of fried rice will be what? It will be a little bit salty, little bit oily, little bit spicy if you like spicy, right? And if you're going to cook the porridge and fried rice, the possibility of doing is differently. Okay. So when we learn Abhidhamma, we should learn what's the method, how should we approach it. Okay. So Abhidhamma is full of facts, but it's useful to use it for Vipassana practice. So if you want to good in Vipassana practice, at least minimally, you must know what is mind and matter, what is five aggregates, what is six sense basis, six sense object. When you see the Cetasika 52, how many can possibly arise and how many can you contemplate at that moment? All right. Okay. So yeah, I think most students are in half already. Okay. Now, I will share my screen as usual. So I will try to explain part by part, part by part. All right. So when I say you can ask question, then you can ask. So if not, try not to interrupt me so much because I know some of you are getting more excited. You might just want to ask. All right. So okay. Okay. So now if you feel that you want to switch off your video, you can go on. All right. So make yourself feel comfortable. Also switch off my video. All right, so you are under the Agacha International College. So the purpose is Abhidhamma course with the Vipassana perspective, and we are doing the part 1 now. Okay, so later I will share this note to you. Okay, now here for the introduction, I already write something about Abhidhamma by the Buddha, importance of Abhidhamma, 7 Abhidhamma texts, this one Abhidhamma Sanghaha, all right? Okay, so let's go through detail. So remember, we still at the introduction. So okay, I put the English and Chinese. So for you all who be able to read the both languages. Now, when you study any Pali words, okay, Pali, you have to know how to differentiate. So it's Abhi and Dhamma. Abhi means you can call it special, like prefix or higher. So Dhamma is doctrine, or you can call it teaching. Sometimes you can call it higher teaching or advanced doctrine. So this means that beyond the Buddha's ordinary teaching in the stories like the king, the queen, and so on, so we go and thoroughly investigate what is Abhidhamma. Now, before that, it's also important for us to know the history of Abhidhamma, right? I think you heard the story, right? So in the 7 years of enlightenment, the Buddha went to the world of the deity, right? So Abhidhamma is not teach in the it's not teach in the human, but it's teach in the Deva. Okay, we call it the Deva plan, and teach Abhidhamma for 3 months. So after that, the Buddha need to come down to human world because he need to eat meals, like because he still have the human body. That's very important. So at that time, the chief disciple, Sariputra, he met the Buddha. So Buddha actually explained, but in very brief. All right. So after that, the Sariputra, he taught to his students, pupils, the doctrine, there's neither too brief nor too long. So we have 3 versions here. The first version, the Buddha teach is very great detail. Why? Because the devas, the deities, they have the mental capacity, they can learn and they can remain in the same posture to remember the Abhidhamma. So it's a very great detail. And the one that preached to Sariputra is very concise. Why? Because Sariputra has lots of wisdom. He be able to understand even though the Buddha explained very little bit. So the one we have actually is the one that Sariputra taught to his disciple, neither too long, neither too short. It's a middle length, right? So you need to know. So that's why people have the controversial talking about that. Abhidhamma is not taught by the Buddha. Yes, it's supposed to taught by the Sariputra, the Buddha's student, Buddha's disciple. Now, it's also good to discover about some doubts about Abhidhamma. All right, we call it the word Buddha Vachana, the Buddha exact words. So some people say Abhidhamma might not be the Buddha Vachana because you cannot find in the first Buddhist council, not in the second Buddhist council. It's only at the third Buddhist council, okay? All right. So you cannot find in the first, second, and third. Third actually quite many hundreds years later. And then the seventh book of Abhidhamma is not say the words of the Buddha, but especially the word of the Sariputra. So this is some second point that you all can consider. So the story of the Buddha went to the heaven to teach Abhidhamma, you cannot find in the Sutta or Abhidhamma, but in the commentary only. So when we say commentary, it's not to say it's like actually the words of the Buddha, but it's something that the disciple of the Buddha, they wrote down. So it's kind of like, in this part, it doesn't seem to be the truth, it's more like fiction, or more like mini facts. And then it's not mentioned as one of the 9 style of teaching, all right? So this is not important, but if you want to know, you can refer to the notes here, Sutta and Udana and so on. Okay. And then you can find, I find in the reference here, I put the reference here, you can read it again. But some people, a lot of people believe that it's only at the third Buddhist council, that is the 250 BCE. So it becomes the fixed form as now the third and final Tipitaka or the canon, right? So later we will learn about what is Tipitaka, right? But a lot of people believe that only the Buddha can teach the Abhidhamma. There are a few reasons. First one is the Buddha has exceptional wisdom. Only the Buddha can understand about things about the mind and matter causality. And then the teaching of the Buddha is not easy. Only Buddha can explain all these difficult points. He can explain it even the normal people, monks, regular folks, and heavenly beings, devas can understand. All right. So I just go through. It's not so important just for you for understand knowledge. And then only the Buddha said can preach in the heaven because no other people be able to do that. Okay. So you can go through some of the points like importance of Abhidhamma. Why we need to learn Abhidhamma? Because we can understand how our mind matter, especially our mind, works. It's a comprehensive manual of our thoughts, feeling, and how our mind works. Explain how we think, like our thought process. How do we feel? What is the process going on in the mind? And then it's true, seeing the truth. All right. So it explains things like our Namarupa, mind matter into 5 aggregates and teach that never things are never permanent, it's always changing. Even this idea of self is not permanent, it's always changing also. And then it also let us understand what is sutta. From the sutta, the Buddha teaching, let us go deeper and deeper. And also from the Abhidhamma, we know the Buddha's wisdom, how wise is the Buddha wisdom until now. All right, so all these are just extra facts. Okay, now I want to show you where can you see the Abhidhamma. All right, so you can open any Tipitaka, especially this software, I love it, so I always use it. Open Pali Canon, all right? So I hope you all can see this. You have the first one is called Vinaya. It's the rules and regulation for Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni. The second one is a discourse, the Sutta Pitaka. So you have five Nikaya, 5 collection, and Abhidhamma is considered the third one. So you got Vinaya, Sutta, and Abhidhamma, right? Among the Abhidhamma, so you have the Dhamma Sangani, the first book, Vibhanga, second book, Datu Kata, third book, Pugala Panyati, fourth, Kata Watu, okay? So 5. Yamaka, there are 2 here, and Patana got 5. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Abhidhamma books. And the books actually, if you open up, is very big. Okay, 298 pages. Or if you look at the Patana, which is the longest. Okay, so we can see, right? 442 pages. Thai version 538. All right. So there are many books, Vibhanga. So we can check the pages here. You can see 453 pages. That's according to the 6 Buddhist Council where they compare it, right? And then this 100. This is not so a lot. Puka Panyati is actually, let's see, 185. So the Patana is a lot, Dhamma Sangani a lot. So this is the 7 books of Abhidhamma. So beside here, when we say the Mula means original text, then we have the commentary, we call it Atthagata, where they explain the above things again. Vinaya, Atthagata commentary, explain the Vinaya. Then the Atthagata explain the Sutta. Abhidhamma, Atthagata explain this one. So there are a lot. And then you got Tika. Tika is sub-commentary. It will explain the above and above. And then you got others. All right. So you can see the wisdom Magga is here. And the book that we focus on learning is if you want to learn Abhidhamma, it's this one, okay? Abhidhammata Sangaha, which normally translates as a comprehensive manual of Abhidhamma. Right, Abhidhamma Kaya, all right? So this is considered as a Tika sub-commentary. So we go through this book, Abhidhammata Sangaha, to go to the commentary and to go to the original, the Mula, this one, 7 books of Abhidhamma. So there are many things to learn. So we don't have time to learn all because of our lifespan. We are not Dewa. We cannot forever learn the book. So we only can take whatever is important for us for our practice. Okay. Right. So 7 treatises or 7 literature. So these 7 of them, Abhidhamma, Dhamma Sangani, Vibhanga, Tatu Kata, Pukala Panyati, Kata Watu, Yamaka Patana. So the one that they always chant in Myanmar, 7 days, 7 nights, is the Patana, the last book, but it's very long, right? And then the one easier to read will be like this because it's talking about like human and so on. So this is the easiest to read. So the other are lots of information. Okay, and then there are some facts here. So, all right. So I think we can skip it because this is just introduction only. All right, then we banga and so on. Okay, all right. So I like to go through this. So before I'm going to this one, so we can just stop for a while. I'll stop the sharing. Okay, and then come back to some discussion just now. So as I shown you just now, just some introduction about Abhidhamma, and also the books of Abhidhamma is actually a lot. And then, so there's for people who never study Pali, all right, especially never study Pali and don't have the foundation. Like in Myanmar, most of the young novice, monks or nun or bhikkhu, they study from very young. Some as young as 8 years old, 9 years old. From there, they build out until 20 years old, 30 years old. So they had a strong foundation. For us, approaching Abhidhamma at our adult age, it's impossible for us to go to the Pali and try to digest like in a traditional way. All right. So people recommend us to go for sub-commentary like Abhidhammata Sangaha, comprehensive manual of Abhidhamma. From there, we tackle the main book of Abhidhamma. That's one way to do. Okay. Another way to do is you pick up certain texts, the Pali of the Abhidhamma, and try to just contemplate on it. Because some of the Abhidhamma text has linking with the Sutanta. So it's also another way to see. For Abhidhamma, you go to Sutta. Or another way from the Sutta, you go to Abhidhamma. So there are many ways of how we do it as long as we be able to understand the Dhamma. You know, the purpose of you learning the Abhidhamma is also to learn the Dhamma. The purpose of you doing the Sutanta is also for you to learn the Dhamma. All right. So it's only how we approach it. I would say the ways, the means to approach it. We should learn systematically, but we should not also take too much because we cannot digest it. That's also very important, no? Because some people learn a lot in digestion. When they get indigestion, they will leave the Abhidhamma book or leave the even Buddha teaching because they cannot stand too much knowledge. All right. So of course you all are very lucky. I would say you got teacher like me to help you. So when I started to learn Pali, I think I told some of my Pali students, I never have a Pali teacher. You know, I look at the some of the Pali book, Pali grammar book, and I try to write the answer. Okay, then later, in my meditation center, come a Myanmar monk. So I show him all my homework, and he told me, "Your answer all totally wrong." You know, I get so disappointed because I didn't know the right way to learn Pali at the time. All right. So I think you all are much more lucky in a way that you all, especially in Malaysia, you all have so many teachers until you yeah, you don't know which meditation center or which teacher to go. Too many teacher. All right. So if no question on the point I mentioned just now, now I will continue on the first one will be on the two truths, two Dhamma in Abhidhamma. Any question so far? You know, I will continue, all right? Okay, now this is very important for us to practice meditation as well. Right. We call it in English ultimate truth, conventional truth, right? So there are two types of Dhamma that are explained in the Abhidhamma treatise. They call Panyati and Paramata. So we just pronounce the word Panya. The one you see end with the kind of like, we call it tar, we call it nya. So Panyati. All right. So Panyati comprises names and things. So I get this one from the fundamental of Abhidhamma by Sayadaw Dr. Nanamala. Right. So the names are Panyati. Because through the names, we are able to know things. So put a comma here. Things are also Panyati because they have to be known through names. All right. So I give you some time to digest it. All right. All the names we call and all the words we use are Sada Panyati, sound. Okay. Sada is sound. Panyati is concept. So sound concept. Because through them, we have to know the things concerned. All right. So we have some terms here, Sada Panyati, some concept. Because through them, we have to know the things concerned. The things are called Atta Panyate, thing concept. Because they have to be known by means of names and words. All right. So this is just some definition. So we look at it. All right. For example, apple, all right, two sound. Apple and aeroplane, three sound. So this one we call it sound concept. It's a sound, but it's a concept because you heard the word apple, you get the concept of apple, but it's a sound here. It's still a sound here. All right. So this is called sound concept. But when we see something that, all right, for example, this apple, you see a round shape. Apple is always smooth, a round, smooth shape with an indentation on top, maybe a green color or something like stick up, all right, a stick. Or this, so you know, this is called thing concept. So by you see this thing, this is a thing concept. Or when you see a metal long thing like this, okay, with a tail, this one with the tail here, and a wing, and this one can fly. So this is called thing concept because you get to know this is a thing. This thing is called aeroplane. And this thing with the round shape is apple, all right? But apple itself is a sound. Aeroplane is also a sound, but they refer to something we call it thing. So here only two ideas, thing concept and sound concept. Okay, so you have to get to know this too. All right, so 1 minute for you to digest. Okay. So because why we are living in the world of concept, all right? So this why we have this word we call it truth. Okay, apple is a truth thing. It's a also conventional truth because we call it apple. No? Even in Malay, maybe by you say the word apple, people know you are talking about apple. And this one, able know that it's aeroplane, right? So it look like airplane. So if this is a conventional truth. Okay, but this panyati, all right, this concept, it changes the destination and name when it's formed and sustain changes. For example, you have the ice, all right, it melts under the sun, so it becomes water here, right? It becomes the water here. So when you give more heat to it, then it becomes a steam, right? So it fly out, going up, all right? So the name or destination for it changes, so it becomes the ice, change from ice to water to steam. But we can say the ultimate truth is this is just water or H2O. Okay, so this means that the concept always change according to circumstances. So we can call it ice, we can call it water, we can call it steam. But the real one, or we call it the real truth, is just water or H2O. Okay, so concept is always changing. So however, it's a conventional truth. So that's why we have the Bali word called samuti sacha. Sacha is truth, like the word samuti for you learn the Bali sam and man. Okay, man is something you agree. Man become mood, all right, samuti sacha. It's agreed truth. Why it called agreed? Because it's something that generally accepted, agreed by the people in society. All right. Okay. For example, we can see this later. So use the conventional truth. The Buddha gives guideline dealing with the status, obligation of human society, morality, condition of success and life, and so on. For example, a man here, this man in the middle, he has a father, all right, and a son. So to the father, he's called a son. To his own son, the younger one, he's called a father. So this means that he is a father, he's also a son, right? So he has a son duty to the father, but he also need to fulfill his father duty to his own son. So who is he? He is father, he is son. So all these are just conventional truth, but we need to use conventional truth because we need to live in the society. Everybody, you got father and mother and so on, all right? So we need to use this kind of conventional truth because it's important for us to live harmonious in the society. So this is called conventional truth. But the Paramata Satya, ultimate truth, is something that real, ultimate reality. So normally it don't never change. Okay, for example, it never change their nature characteristic. It's real forever. For example, the fire, it gives heat. The fire burns. So the fire and heat is real. Okay. And the consciousness in a man, even the man and woman is considered as a conventional truth, but the consciousness is real because our consciousness or the mind, it knows things. So if you don't believe the fire is real, you touch it, okay? Then the fire will burn your finger. So the real fire will burn your finger. So this is considered truth. So it's ultimate truth. So that's why whenever you practice, even you learn Abhidhamma, at least you need to know Paramata Satya, ultimate truth. So in Abhidhamma, we break down to these four. So here we try to learn the Pali as much as possible because it's impossible to translate all the Pali into English. Sometimes we have few, we can call it rupa, we can call material, sometimes we call it matter. Okay, so rupa, just understand the Pali word called R-U, long U, rupa. 28. Consciousness, chitta, 89 or 1 to 1. Mental factors, cetasika. Mental factors, sometimes we have another word, they call it, some of the teacher, they call it mental property, right? And nibbana, all right? So we got this is categorized. So when you learn Abhidhamma, you will learn 1, 2, 3, 4. Rupa, chitta, cetasika, nibbana. So sometimes for us, when I study, it's very easy. We just recite the Pali. Rupa, chitta, cetasika, nibbana. Rupa, chitta, cetasika, nibbana. So we just remember these four when we recite the Pali. Because the English is so wordy. Okay? Right? So, and like this, you need to, from the chart just now, okay? So you got the mind. What is mind? All right? So this mind, nama, including chitta and chittasika, all right? So mind, including chitta and chittasika. So chitta and chittasika. So mind and matter, you can consider it, categorize it into 5 aggregates, all right? So from simple nama, rupa, all right? So look at the first category, nama, rupa. Oh, yeah, this is a much. Okay, rupa is still rupa, 28. Okay, so this nama, so this nama, you can break to chitta and chittasika. So remember your nama, you divide into 2, chitta, chittasika. So now you got 3. So rupa, chittasika, chitta, which is C and C. And then if when you practice meditation, you go deeper from this nama rupa, all right? Then you go to see these 3. Then you go deeper, you go to 5 aggregates. So rupa is still rupa. And then this consciousness is still consciousness. But here in 5 aggregates, you call it vijnana, another term. This is called chitta, this is called vijnana. So it's 89 or 1 to 1. And then the cettasika, which is 52, you can divide into 1 plus 1 plus 50. All right. So, and here I didn't write down the meaning, but actually why we, among the 52, why we take out the feeling, because the feeling plays the important part in our whatever we do. Whatever we do, when we have good feeling, we rush for things. When we bad feeling, we avoid it. So you can see the mind always go for feeling. And perception is when you see something, you perceive it as good, you try to get it. And if you perceive it as bad, you will try to avoid it. That's why the Buddha purposely take out the feeling and perception, take it out. All right. So, and then this is just introduction. So basically from the Nama Rupa, you break down to Nama, you break down to Chitta and Cetasika. Then from here, you break down to 5 aggregates. So this is called the real truth, Paramata, or ultimate truth. So in Pali, we have called it Pachu Upadana Khanda. Khanda is aggregate, Upadana is clinging, Pancha is a 5, like Panchasila, all right? Because we cling to these 5 aggregates. Now, when you meditate, you need to compare between these two truths. You need to see the minimally Nama and Rupa in your meditation, but you also need to see this in your meditation also. When you want to meditate, you cannot say, I just focus on this and I don't focus on this. Why? Because we live in a world. We are living in this part of the world most of the time. Okay, we cannot just we have to ignore this one. It's impossible. But at least we try to see both of them. Right? So we have the conventional truth or samuti satya or concept where we cling to this ego, I, my thing, man, woman, human, dog, cat, animal, you know. But in ultimate truth, as object meditation, you try to see nama rupa. Okay. There's another thing here. Concept, this panyati, we call it concept. Sometimes in the Abhidhamma book, you will see the things, they call it timeless. Why? Because it's constructed in the mind. So it does not have reality. It does not have a solid form. It's no concrete form. So we call it beyond the time frame. So that's why sometimes in Abhidhamma, we have these technical terms, we call it timeless. Okay. So spiritual view, you concern the ultimate truth, but we still have need a mundane view about conventional truth. For example, we can use a conventional truth when we speak to each other. Let's say, I see a boy who is eating an apple, right? In ultimate truth, this mind matter, she see another mind matter, this boy, who is eating the apple. Apple is a matter, lupa. But if you're going to speak like this mind matter, she see another boy, mind matter, eating the matter. All right. But if you're going to speak like that, nobody will understand your speech and people think that you are odd, you know. So that's why we still need to use a conventional truth like I see the apple, I see the boy who is eating the apple. Okay. So sutta, the Buddha teaching is explained in everyday language understood by people. By Abhidhamma, make mostly of the pure philosophical terms in term absolute sense, paramata vachana. All right. So yeah, Abhidhamma book like Patana, it talk about nama rupa, mind matters, and so on. So this sentence should be moved to the top. Okay. I think I'm going to end here. So anyway, this is just an introduction class. Yeah. Okay, so before I go for very detail about this concept here. Okay, so I leave it. So we can just stop and do some discussion. All right, so anybody who want to ask some questions can ask now. All right. You can unmute. Anybody want to say something? Ask something?
Shaji.
You can introduce yourself to the class, you know, Brother Ong. Yeah.
Yeah, Ong.
Can you
just now the
turn on the video?
the chat.
Are you
I can't. My thing is weak.
spoiled? Okay. Yes.
So
Brother
the chart now where it showed the mind matter down into the
5 aggregates.
paramata, then into the aggregates.
Yeah.
Now you
Right.
show the chitta and Vijnana is same lah. So are they the same? They refer to the same thing.
They are referring to same thing. It's only the Pali terms are different. Okay, chitta is used, yes, in Vijnana and chitta is actually quite same. Yeah, especially in Abhidhamma, 5 degrees, we use the word Vijnana. We don't use the word chitta. But when we say 89 chitta, we use the word 89 chitta. But when we talk about like our eye, ear, nose, and so on, so we call it, then at that time they use the word Chaku Vijnana.
Consciousness.
Then they use the word Chaku
Consciousness.
Vijnana. Yeah, eye
Consciousness.
consciousness. Yes,
Because
yes.
sometimes there's some mistaken terms are used by the meditators. No, is it consciousness? Actually, it's already built the base one. Whereas
What
the
base?
chitta is a pure, no, eye base or the sense basis.
No, eye base is the rupa. Okay. Consciousness
but
is just consciousness. Yes.
No, the eye consciousness. I mean, the eye consciousness, the 6 senses.
Yeah, right. But normally when we talk about 89 chitta is 89 chitta. We don't use the word 89 vijnana. Okay.
That's why there's some
it's more general.
There's a more pure consciousness that they refer to chitta only. Is it?
Chitta and vijnana, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
okay,
they can interchange, but it also depends. Like when we say 89 chitta, we use the word 89 chittas. We don't use the word 89 vijnana. But we say that our sense though, for example, then we say they use two set of the vijnana, 5 vijnana. So that at that time 5 vijnana referring to our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. That's more specific.
Sense basis.
Okay. Sense consciousness.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Next
thank
question.
You very much.
Next question. Can you please identify your name also, because so for the other class to get to know, other student to get to know you also. All right. Any question? If no question, all right. Anybody want to say something? All right. If no question, I will continue. Okay. On the list is 73. Now we got 52. Not so bad. Shining, try to capture as many student face as you can. All right. Okay, now when we talk about concept actually is very interesting because we are living in a world of concept, Yeah. Beside the apple, the man and woman. So you can see. So you can find all this in sometimes the commentary gives lots of very good idea. Satthana. Right, from the word sam and ta and na, all right, samthana, all right, panyati. You talk about form or shape. All right. So okay, now land and mountain. All right. So for example, this is okay, for example, so what's the difference between something called mountain? What do you think something called hill, right? For example, hill, right? Mountain, hill, land. It's the shape here. A mountain might be taller, right? Taller and taller. And then the hill may be a little bit shorter. Land will be flat one, okay? So the form and shape, so we call it satthana panyati. So due to the form and shape, so we have different names for different items, okay? And samoha panyati, collective concept. For example, okay, table, all right, chariot. What is table? Actually, if you consider what is table, table means many a few pieces of wood, okay, you piece together, put together, right? And then you put the nail and so on. So, but you put a table in a special shape, then you got the idea of table, all right? And then chariot, it means that you put some woods, some wheels, and so on. So you get the idea of chariot. And disa refer to place, like east and west. But this actually depends on where you stay. In certain place, you look, the east will be east to you, but to other people, it might be west. Or to other people, might be north. For example, Southeast Asia is because we are in Southeast Asia. But to Indonesia, yeah, Indonesia will be below the Malaysia, right? Malaysia will be above the Indonesia. So all these are just direction, okay? Kala concept, like morning, all right? because depends. The morning now is like nighttime in our place, but in America it might be morning, right? So the concept of time different. Akasa is a space, like inside the cave, like where it's just a space there. Nimitta, all right? So something like you visualize, especially meditation. So it's a computerized image or visualized image. So this is called Panyati. So actually very interesting to see how our mind interpret all this information, right? How we see a mountain, how we see a land, right? Now Kicha is also interesting. All right. Now duty. Kicha is a duty. Panyati is concept, like Dharma preacher. Okay. How you know somebody is Dharma preacher? Because he preached the Dharma. So we call it Dharma preacher. Like how you know who is the student here? Who is the teacher here? Okay. Because the teacher stand in front near the whiteboard. So she's a teacher. And then she is older than the student. The student are younger here. So she's a teacher. And the student who's sitting on the chair is the student. So this is called the duty. The teacher have the duty to teach. The student has the duty to learn. So this is called concept of duty. Satana Panyati, all right? So you got also another one, lipid, but this is also referred to fat and thin, all right? Somebody is thin because somebody is fat because the shape here. And then linga, all right, the gender, somebody is like male or female. Male or female like here. So we have bhumi in the plan, the karma bhumi, sensual plan, material plan, immaterial plan. So you will learn the 31 plans. I hope to cover the 31 plans next lesson, all right? And then the Pachata is a individual, like the name, all right? Naga refer to one person. Tisa refer to another person. So Saiputra refer to another person. So concept individual. But in ultimate sense, we are talking about concept here. Ultimate sense, everybody is made of mind matter. So we take on one mind matter, we take on as an individual. So he's a Naga, Tisa, and Saiputra. And then Asankata. All right, so unformed. Okay, Sankata is form. Sankata is condition. So art is unformed, unconditioned, like Nirodha or Nibbana. So difficult to show it. All right. So actually, if you consider it, most of the time we are living in the world concept. Okay, you can see every time we're surrounded by the world concept. You know, some of the concept make us happy, but some of the concept can make us very angry also. All right. Okay. Now, it's important now. Why do we study Abhidhamma? Right. So sutta, hearing, or by the Pali words, the past participle sut and ta. All right. Heard. So you hear something called panya. Right now you hear the knowledge. So you have this one, you call it sutta maya panya. So the knowledge you gain by hearing right now. All right. Chinta, chinta, think. So after you hear this, you need to consider. So especially those who are taking diploma and certificate, you need to digest the information after you hearing. You hear first, and you need to think when you need to write your assignment. So I don't want you just copy and paste from somewhere. All right. So after that, you need to mental cultivation. You need to bhavana. Bhavana means meditation, all right, or cultivation. So this means that you need to practice to see the truth in your life. So you heard the Dhamma from the teacher, read the books, and listen to Dhamma talks. So sutta means heard, then you think, reflect with your own intelligence. Then by actual meditation, bhavana, you develop the mind and gain the real wisdom. All right. So these some Pali terms here. So that's why you need to hear, you need to think, and you need to meditate. So Abhidhamma will only give you the hearing and thinking. Okay. But you still need to develop the last one, bhavana, by yourself. Okay. Now it's important, all right? So we are going to finish here. So how to see the truth in meditation, all right? So you need to know, the first step you need to know about what is this I. This I means mind matter. And by this, you get the right view. Okay, samadhi. It's very important. So if you don't have right view, then how do you have right thought? So after having the right view, you contemplate it, mind matter, you get right thought. So right view, right thought. And this fulfill in a noble eightfold path, this is considered the wisdom group, right? So then when you observe the eight precepts, then you fulfill the sila group morality with the right speech, action, livelihood. Then you practice meditation, you got effort, focus on object, right? Mindfulness and concentration. So you fulfill the concentration group. So that's why in Noble Eightfold Path, the first step is always right view. All right. So Abhidhamma will give you a lot of right view, but you still need to you need to develop to have the right thoughts. Okay, now how do we fulfill the Eightfold Path in a practical meditation? Okay, so in walking meditation, a meditator contemplates the steps at left and right or right and left. So the noting mind awareness of the mind, okay, awareness is the mind. The foot is the body. So you got the awareness is mind, foot is the body. So namarupa. So in the sitting meditation, the one contemplates the object, all right? The object is a breathing meditation or abdomen rising, falling. So the noting mind awareness is the mind. The object is the matter. So in this way, you only know there's mind and body, namarupa. So there's no self, I, ego. Even this body is not mine. This property is not mine. So you only see the namarupa, mind and body, no I, no self. Okay, right. But the problem is we always cling to this I, my idea, my sadness already. So when you cling to that, your mind will suffer more. Okay. So in reality, we don't have this I. The one that really exists is only the mind matter, namarupa. So you should not contemplate this I at all. So in the Anatta Lakkhana Sutta, the Buddha say we should not consider things as etamama, esomasmi, esome atta. Okay, this mind, this I, this myself. All right. So when you contemplate it, this mind, you are reclaiming. When you say this I, you have conceit. When you say this self, you have wrong view. Okay, so if you do it in wrong way, this means that you have craving, conceit, and wrong view. So what you should think that every time you contemplate, everything should be neta mama. Okay, this is not mine. Na meso ha masmi. It's not I. Okay, na meso atta. It's not myself. So that's the right way according to Buddha, Anatta Lakkhana. Okay, so we can stop here. So after that, I will show you some small homework for those who sign up. All right. Okay, so any questions? Okay. Any questions for those who want to ask about, do you understand how to practice meditation so far using this Paramata, Satya, and then the Panyati concept? How are you going to see the concept and how are you going to see the ultimate truth? Anybody want to ask question?
Sayaji,
Yes, Mengse?
I'm Mingxi.
Mhm.
Just now, Sayaji mentioned that in meditation, you must know how to see the concept.
Yes.
Yes.
And the
Now,
ultimate truth. Yes.
and the ultimate truth. So the
Yes.
ultimate truth will be the rupa, citta, cittasika, and
Yes.
nibbana.
Yes. Yes.
And in our daily life, we see everything as concept.
Yeah, true. That's why I show you all sort of concept, many concepts we live in our life, right?
Correct. So
Mm.
the example you gave is walking meditation. Now we are going to see the chitta, the mind, the chitta,
Yes.
and the rupa,
Nama rupa, yeah. Just use the word nama rupa.
nama and rupa. Then there is the cettasika is not involved.
Chetasika is when you divide the nama into, nama is things, but nama you can divide it. Remember just now the first table is nama
Yes,
rupa. When you
yes.
divide will be 3. So the nama when you divide will be chitta and chittasika. Chitta is a consciousness, Chetasika is the mental factor.
Mental
This is why when you
factors.
learn next chapter, you will learn about this Chitta and Chetasika. But
Okay.
minimally in meditation, you all should take away the idea of this I, self, right? Just focus on mind, and matter. So in walking, in sitting, in standing, there's only nama rupa, mind and matter. There's no I. Of course, you know this I is a concept. That's why you have to have these two truths. One is ultimate truth, one is conventional truth. All right? Because when you speak to people, you cannot say, you must use the word I want to go somewhere. Right? You say, okay, I live in my house, I got my children, I go to a Buddhist center, and there's always use the word I. Yeah, the concept. But this means that we are living with the two truths, even in meditation. But in meditation, of course, you focus more on the ultimate truth. Because if you are doing the walking meditation, you're going to say, I'm doing left, I'm doing right. Do you think it's the right way or not? If you're going to meditate like this?
I understand that part.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right. Next question. All right.
So,
yes, but
so basically, when you look at the on here, so when you
yes.
see the rupa, you're just looking at the characteristic, heavy, light.
Yeah, right. But there is the ultimate truth
not
already.
Yeah.
Even when we see the
just look
abdomen,
at the characteristic.
Yes, for example, when you sit down and you observe the abdomen, even the abdomen is a concept, right or not? What do you see in your abdomen? Abdomen means that you in your mind is like a kind of like a flat or round, right? If if your abdomen is round, so to you your abdomen appears round. But even this word abdomen is a concept. But actually, what you try to see is the characteristic, like the wind element, the roughness, the hardness, the softness of the abdomen. When you do walking meditation, the moment you put the left and right, even the left and right is just like we say the sound concept. What is left? What is right? There's only English. In Chinese, we don't call it left and right. In Chinese, we call it 右左, right? So this is a sound concept. Yeah, it's a concept also. But what we say left and right, when you put the feet on the ground, how you feel it? You're looking for the characteristic of the earth element, hardness, softness, roughness, smoothness, and so on. Okay? But we still need to live in the world concept. It's true, but we try to see more on ultimate truth, especially in meditation. That's the purpose of meditating, right? Because if you don't practice the ultimate truth, then no point to go for meditation center. You can practice at home all the time. All right. Okay. Next question.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Any question?
Sally, Jade here.
Yes, Jade.
Okay, I have a question. So normally, our perception are all distorted one. Okay. So when you're saying the I, not to see the I, but it's a mind and matter. So actually we are changing the perception. Is it we have to change the perception of seeing things, not to see in the way of I, but in a way of mind and matter, which is the ultimate truth.
Maybe we don't use the word change the perception because the word we use, the Pali word we call it sanya. Okay, sanya vipallasa. Vipallasa means the Pali word exactly sanya, but vipallasa means distorted way of seeing things. So the perception is wrong in the first place. So we don't change it, we should remove it. Remove the wrong concept of this self and I. So we should remove it, not change it.
Okay.
That means it's like ignorance, it's like just ignorance. Okay, like we say the truth is always like the Eightfold Path, and then the Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path is always there all the time. Why we cannot see it? Because the ignorance cover it. So we should remove the ignorance. So also we should remove this misconception about the self.
I mean, to see in a correct way, in other words, not in the wrong way.
Yes. Right. Now we are in the wrong way. So that's the purpose of practicing meditation, especially why do you need to walk and walk and walk? Why do you need to sit and sit and sit? You are repeating the same action again and again. The question is, why do you need to do it? Do you know why? Why do we need to practice so hard,
because the mind is so habitual in seeing the wrong way.
Right. Yeah. So covered by ignorance and delusion.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Buddha teaching. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Yes. Next question. So I only hope that by today you understand that we have two truths. All right. One is called conventional in English, conventional truth. Another one is called ultimate truth. So in meditation, you have to see more on ultimate truth, especially on mind matter. That's the first step. Then slowly, when you are more skillful, you go for 5 aggregates, you go for 6 sense bases, and so on. But at least you need to know we have two truths, and we need to live with all these two truths in our life. Okay, especially the we call it the concept, we call it the word conventional truth. Like just now, a man has the father. Okay, to him he's a son, and if he has his own son, to his son he's the father. So who is he? He's both the son and the father. That kind of responsibility. Okay, if no question, I will continue some more. All right. So especially you need to know why we need to get rid of the clinging, because we cling to this ideal self. And then when somebody passes away, say, "Oh, my husband, my wife, my daughter, and my grandfather, grandmother." All right, we cling this idea of self and soul and so on. Especially the Buddha say, all right, we cling everything as mama, my thing. Okay, this Pali word mama. Okay. Eso aham. Aham is I. Okay. This is I. Eso aham asmi. Okay. Eso is this. Aham is I. Asmi is. Okay. This am I, or this is I. Eso is this. Me is my. Atta. So we see in this way. We see with craving. This is my. We see with craving. This I. We see with mana. Conceit. This myself. You believe the soul is there. Wrong view. So we should see opposite way. All right. So now. All right. So for those who are doing assignment, okay. So this is the first class. I will not expect you to write 30 or 40 pages. You try to write even half a page would do, okay? Just write half a page, okay? Half a page A4 size, or maybe few sentences, because this is first class. Okay, what are these knowledges? Ultimate truth, conventional truth. Can you see them in meditation daily life? All right, this one. Do you have ego? All right, this is important. How do you define the meaning of ego, self? Does your ego help you or not help you in meditation? This is also something that you all should consider. Does our ego help us in meditation or not? I believe actually ego do help us in meditation, no? Sometimes. Okay, not to say ego is the bad one, because sometimes the ego can be good ego also. All right. So for those who are taking the certificate diploma, all right, just write something. Okay, not to say must be 1 page, half a page, because it's just starting for you to think. So when you learn Abhidhamma, the first one is sutta. You heard. Second one, you need to think. All right, think. So that's the purpose of writing, for you to digest. The one you need to practice in your meditation. Okay. So for those doing assignment, certificate or diploma, are you clear? I'll show you the question again. All right. So you don't need to write a lot. Okay. Just 1 or 2. Choose one, or best you write 2 of them. Write even half A4 size. Okay. Something. Just write something. So today, you just learn about the true truth, Namarupa, and you learn about some concept also. Okay. So I just rewind back. All right. So today we actually learning beside some of the starting point about what is Abhidhamma, the importance of Abhidhamma, and so on. So this one you can read yourself. Okay, so it's very important. All right, so I just go through. So Panyati, concept, Paramatta, ultimate truth, right? So we are living in these two worlds, concept and ultimate truth. So even the Panyati is divided to sound concept and thing concept. Apple is a thing, all right, a round shape. The sound apple is sound concept. The round shape here, red color, is a thing concept. Okay. And then panyati always change. When the situation change, it change. So water, ice can become water, water can become steam. So panyati concept is always change. That's why the Buddha say we don't depend on panyati because it changes all the time. The moment we cling to it, we are even more suffer. All right, but we still need this ultimate truth. We still need conventional truth because we are living in society. All right, because using the conventional truth, the Buddha give guideline. For example, who's the father, who's the son, who's the duty. But the Paramatta truth is a real one because they never change like fire. So meditation, you try to see Nama Rupa, then you try to go deeper. All right, Nama divided to Chitta and Chittasika, which we learn in Abhidhamma. And then when meditation, you try to see the five aggregates, all right, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Okay, so this is a review. So you try to see what is Paramatta, and we also must know what is this concept or conventional truth, Sammuti Satya. All right. So we are living in a world of concept all the time. All right. The form, the shape, the table, all these are concept. Like for example, you say your table is so beautiful, but actually table is just a piece of wood put together and then you put some color or varnish on the top. So when you say east and west, to you it's a east, but to other people it's a west. All right. So all these are concept all the time. But it's important when you hear Abhidhamma, you try to get these three truths. Then you improve from the sutta, you heard, then you think, and then you start to cultivate. So that's important. So this is an example I given about how you should practice meditation. Okay. Okay, so these some questions you all should try to digest and try to think about it. All right, so before I finish, I also want to show you some of I think I showed you some of the book already, right? So it's recommend you can get some of the book that you can read, Abhidhamma in daily life. You can go for abhidhamma.com. You can download. It's something easier to read. So normally I will refer to this book, Fundamental of Abhidhamma by our Rector Saido. In the past, he already retired. So this is a very simple book, but it gives very good definition of Abhidhamma also. Okay, so you can see I copy some of the points here. So go for this book first. If you have this book, you read first. So when you read something, you know Abhidhamma, this one, the Pali word Abhidhammata Sangaha. So this is more difficult because it's actually quite complete with all the numbers and charts and so on. Okay. For example, look at the chapters on today's topic. Okay. You can see you also talk about today's topic, but first the English is British people, so the English is very good. All right. Okay. You can see it talk about something like just some conventional language, samuti. Okay. You can read. Some is easier to read. You can read. All right. So you can read this book if you're interested. For those doing assignment, you can refer to this book for extra notes. All right. Comprehensive Manual of Abhidhamma book. All right. We call it the Handbook of Abhidhamma Studies, which is a very good book. It explains those special points not mentioned in the Abhidhamma Sangaha. Because this book is a Dhamma talk by the Sayadaw U Silananda and it's been transcribed by his students, right? So he gave this book in America. So this book actually designed to supplement the study of Abhidhammata Sangaha, the comprehensive manual of Abhidhamma, right? Right. So you should refer to all these books. So this book got Abhidhamma lecture, got volume 1, 2, 3, all right? So I think I put in the Google Classroom already. Okay. So you can find under the reference book, right? I put there already, so you can refer to here. And this book all will last you for one lifetime. The Chinese one is only this one, translated into Chinese. Okay. Any last questions from people? Right. So how many of you can understand Chinese here? I think some of you will join the Abhidhamma class, right? My Chinese one? No? Ho, are you here? Yes. Who else? Any last question? If not, I will explain a little bit in Chinese. All right. Any last question in English? Okay, now I just let me spend about 5 minutes explain in Chinese only. Okay. So after that we will do sharing of merit. So just wait for a while. Don't leave first. OK，今天我们是讲到两个真理啊，第一个是究竟法，一个是真实法哈。究竟法或真实法就讲我们好像明设等等这样，所以我们在禅修尽量就是要看到这些究竟法、真实法。可是还有另外一种叫概念，概念就是讲我们活在这个概念世界，比如有我、有你、有他这样，所以通过我们概念，我们跟人家沟通。可是，在禅修呢，我们不能用概念法来禅修，我们应该是用真实法。在禅修，我们不可以说哦，我在走路，我在坐，我在站等等。在禅修时候，我们要说我们在不能用这个字，根本不能用这个字我在走路。你应该说心观右脚，心观左脚。这样我们要这样观，你不可以说哦，我在观右脚，不可以用这个我字我，因为你用这个字我呢，就是讲你还把你的那个无名遮盖了，所以你看不到那玛鲁巴名色。简单就是这样讲的因为我在马来西亚槟榔那边会教比较细节的，所以在这边就不讲这样多Okay, so today now we already not so bad 1 hour, so it's finished introduction of Abhidhamma history and the two truths that is important. So Doris, are you here? Doris G?
Yes, Sayaji.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you lead the sharing of merits? Normally we have a share of merits, so we will invite the student to take turn to share the merits. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. After an insightful lesson from Sayaji, which we value and appreciate very much with gratitude, let us all share and transfer of merits that we have accrued from today's lesson to all our dearly departed relatives. May they be well and happy. Idam me nya tinang ho tu sukita hon tu nya tayo. Idam me nya tinang ho tu sukita hon tu nya tayo. Idam me nya tinang ho tu sukita hon tu nya tayo. May all beings inhabiting space and earth, deities and dragons, naga, of mighty power, rejoice too in this merit making. Aka Sata Chabumata Deva Naga Mahidika Punyang Tang Anumoditwa Chirang Rakantu Lokasa Senang Chirang Rakantu De Senang Chiran Rakantu Mamperang Eta Vata Chaamhehi Sambatam Punya Sampadang Sabbe Deva, Sabbe Sata, Sabbe Bhuta Anumodantu, Sabba Sampatisiddhya. And finally, the making of aspirations. Imina Punya Kamena Mame Bala Samagamo, Satang Samagamo Hotu, Yava Nibbana Patya. Idam me punyang asabaka ya wahang ho tu. Idam me punyang ni banasa pachayo ho tu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, so we put a hand together, right? When we say Buddha Sasana Chiranti Tatu, right? Buddha Sasana Chiranti Tatu. Buddha Sasanam Chiranti Tatu. Buddha Sasanam Chiranti Tatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. So for those doing the homework, taking certificate and diploma, are you clear about the question? I don't want you just copy from the text because there are no point, So I give some points just now. There are many books you all can read, but most importantly, you should think about it, all right? Because Abhidhamma is not something that you memorize it. There's no point in memorize it, okay? You should think about the facts I show you today and read something and then just try to apply in your life. And there's no right or wrong answer actually, because it all depends on your own explanation, your own experience. Okay, then it will become more interesting for you. Because if I would not say all your answer is wrong or right. It depends on how you write. Okay, so because it's important for you to develop the knowledge in your own way. I can only guide you. Okay, so you can try now for this. This is a starting point. Just write as much as you can. If you can write one page, you write. If you cannot write one page, you write half page. There are two questions there. Teo Chai Hon, yes. You want to say something?
Reggie, you want to ask how to submit via WhatsApp? Or what?
I will put the Google Classroom. All right, I put the question in Google Classroom. You just submit. Google Classroom. Yes,
okay.
yes. Okay. All right. So Bande, Ashin Chanda, I think you're not in Google Classroom, right? So later I add you in. Okay. Okay. All right. So okay, clear about your question. Main thing is you don't need to copy the whole Abhidhamma text from the internet and then just copy and paste. I read most of the Abhidhamma text. The moment you copy, I know already. All right, you cannot copy what I know because I read all the text already. Okay, so you can just copy some and maybe modify some. And I want you to all write your own idea, your own explanation, your own experience. Okay, then it will be Sutta, Maya, Panya. All right, the first one, think. And then the Sutta is you heard from me, and Chinta, you think. After that, Bhavana, you develop. Right, yes. Next
Sorry,
question.
if we really copy, so we have to tell you which book, which page.
No need lah. I can search internet lah. It's very easy lah. Internet. You copy something, I also copy and then just do a search. Also appear internet, right? Very easy also. And then you paraphrase, but even you paraphrase can see also. You can copy some because of course you are not at the level you write everything by yourself, but don't copy from beginning to end. It's very obvious to me. Because I also study in my university. I also copy. The moment I copy, I also know from other people also know we copy because you can see the style of writing is different, the information is different, try to digest as much as possible. Don't copy all. Maybe from now just 50% is 50% is more than enough. All right, write as much as you can. All right, now from starting point, maybe one A4 is enough. Two questions, maybe half A4, then minimally, right, not maximally. Okay, Bande, are you clear? Ashin Chanda? Okay, Kira. All right, so you see 73, now we got 53. So after 1 year, we see how many students left. The Pali, at first we start with 53. So at the end, we left about I think 12. So this Anisha. Okay, thank you for joining the class. I hope you all enjoy learning in this way. All right. So I'm giving some Abhidhamma point. Then I try to link with Vipassana, and then we will more open up for discussion, like you all, like Mincy just ask some question, and it clear your doubts about what you experience in your meditation practice. That's how we go, not just pure Abhidhamma, because pure Abhidhamma you can learn from YouTube. There are many Abhidhamma courses in the YouTube. All right. And also not so much because this is a basic class, even like to give you all diploma certificate, I think even maybe 1 year is not enough. Yeah. Because Abhidhamma got how many? 10 chapters. Maybe it will take me 2 years to finish, and that is on a very basic level. I not go deeper. Even like today already got how many? You have, I already introduced 52. 52 means 50 minus 1 and 1. So you got 50. You start to have a little bit Abhidhamma numbers. So do you know that? There's more to come. Okay, see you all. All right, tomorrow there's no Saturday class. Tomorrow I need to go for my university. All right, so I'll announce later. So I'll see you next week, Friday. Okay, same time. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, Saiji. Thank you.
Saji,
Thank you for
thank you
teaching.
very much. Sadhu,
So
sadhu,
this
sadhu.
I will,
Thank you.
I will
Thank
put
you,
on the
Sahaji.
YouTube. Okay, bye-bye. All right.